So yesterday, good morning to all. Yesterday we are at the topic immunology. On those immunology, so we are mainly completed. That was immunoglobulin types and also the T cell epitopes, B cell epitopes, antigen antibody reactions. In our previous class, those antigen and antibody reactions are must and should be happened in each and every organism. Why? Because so these type of these antigen and antibody reactions are mainly occurred in the middle of antigen and antibody. Why? Because always each and every organism was their daily routine always exposed to the different harmful substances. So daily, so those harmful substances may enter into the body. So some defense mechanism should be needed to kill those harmful substances. Otherwise, so all the organisms may going to be die. So to overcome that problem, to prevent that problem, each and every organism should be possess some amount of immunology, that was immunity system, immunity power, that was innate immunity was there. So in our yesterday class we are completed, that was a main blood groups mismatched blood transfusion was a main example for the and that was antigen and antibody reactions. Totally antigen and antibody reactions may occur. So those are too tightly bonded with each other, then only the antigens are going to be deactivated and going to be die. Otherwise the immune system was induced with the help of antigens, and T cell epitopes and B cell epitopes are also completed there. So those T cell and B cell epitopes are the epitope is the area, a specific area that was only for the bonding site of the antigen. So those sites may be presented on the surface of the antibody. Antibody was considered as a paratope. So on the surface of paratope, epitope was the area for so that may accommodate for so going to be a bonding site for antigen. So those area immediately the antigen was going there and bonded with the antibody, and that reaction was called as epitope and paratope reaction, and that was antigen and antibody reaction, and those method was resembles us to the lock and key mechanism. So the paratope, that was the antibody, immunoglobulin was resemble like a key lock like mechanism, the structure of lock. So that was going to be completely fixed with the help of that area that may having one area for bonding area for antigen. When the antigen was going to be bonded with it, both are fixed with each other. So that was antigen was resembled like a key-like mechanism, and the antibody was represented like a lock-like mechanism. So both are bonded with each other and represented like and resembled like lock and key mechanism. So that was antigen, T cell and B cell epitopes, and antigen and antibody reactions. And after that, T cell activation and B cell activation is there. So T cell activation, B cell activation, and monoclonal antibodies and their production, that was another topic that was remained in this unit. So T cell activation. Mainly, so T cell receptors are needed, and also needed MHC1 and MHC2 molecules also, and so these are mainly T cells are developed from the lymphoid progenitor. So that was from the hemopoietic. From that it was prepared. It was lymphoid progenitor and myeloid progenitor. So this T lymphocytes, so those are differentiated into T cytotoxic CD8 molecules, T helper cells with CD4 molecules, and myelin progenitor B cells and plasma cells, and also the dendritic cells. So these are going to be bounded with each other. MHC1 is always with the T. So I felt a mistake in yesterday class. Always MHC1 with the cytotoxic cell, and the MHC2 with the T helper cell, and the MHC1 in presented all the nucleated cells except in RBC, and MHC2 presented in macrophages, dendritic cells. See this? So this is about the MHC1 and MHC2 molecules. Why? Because T cell was going to be matured mainly inside the thymus. So thymus was a bilobed organ that was mainly presented at the above region of the chest in the thoracic cavity. So that was T cells are going to be matured mainly from the thymus. So from the thymus glands, so those are going to be matured and differentiated. From the thymus gland only, the thymocytes are presented. Those are the immature cells. So we already discussed in our yesterday class. So from the thymus gland, again the B lymphocytes are converted into the T cytotoxic cell and T helper cell. So T cytotoxic cell always with the CD8 molecules, T helper cell with the CD4, and T cell receptor was needed for T cell activation. Why? Because after the maturation and differentiation of a T cell was going to be bonded with a receptor only. With the presence of a receptor, that was going to be bonded with the MHC1 and either MHC1 or MH2 molecules, and also with the help of these receptors and the MHC1 or MHC2 molecules, then only the T cell was going to be neutralize the antigens. Otherwise, they may not be bonded with the antigens. So that is the importance of a T cell receptor and the MHC1 and MHC2 molecules. So MHC means by that was a major histocompatibility complex cells. So those are a major histocompatibility complex cells, or as MHC1 class 1 MHC are presented in all the nucleated cells, but except in RBC red blood cells. Why? Because red blood cells may not be having the nucleus. Inside the red blood cells, a nucleus was absent. That's why the MHC class 1 molecules may not be presented inside the red blood cells. But MHC2 molecules are presented inside the macrophages, dendritic cells, and also inside the plasma cells like that. So those are MHC2 class 2 molecules. And see here, this is a maturation. Now the activation and so activation of T cells. So MHC molecules are resemble like this manner. is the MHC1. This is MHC2. It may possess alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, beta 2m, and alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2. So this is the area of a transmembrane, and this is the cytoplasm. Totally, this is about the structure of MHC1 and MHC2 molecules. They may possess the subunits of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and beta 2m in MHC1, and in MHC2, so they may possess the alpha 1, alpha 2 and beta 1, beta 2. So those are some area of the area was transmembrane structure, and the remaining structure was cytoplasm of the cell. It may be presented inside the cell. So those are the class 1 MHC1 and class 1 MHC2 molecule structures. Now the activation of a T cell. So this is about the activation, T cell activation here. So this is in this T cell activation, see the variation between these two. So this is totally about the T cytotoxic cell, and this is about the T helper cell. So T cytotoxic cell was mainly used to enhance the already infected, already damaged cell. So already infected and already damaged cell was going to be forcibly, that for the cell, if the stress feeling of the cell or any other cell, any some of the reasons may be used to cause the death of the cell. The stress condition of the cell, the stress levels are increased inside the cell, and also the cell cycle, at the time of occurring of the cell cycle, any DNA damages or occur, those damages are not going to be repaired naturally. Then what happens is the cell was going to lead the cell death, that was apoptosis. So that was enhanced by the T cytotoxic cell. That was one of the differentiation from the T lymphocyte cell. So T cytotoxic cell was always presented at the already infected cell. It was used to enhance the already infected, already damaged cell. So forcibly it was used to force the cell to going to die. So the infected cell was going to die with by the effect of T cytotoxic cell. See this, by the presence of the MHC1 molecules and also the receptor. See this, the T cell receptor and the MHC1 molecules. So those both are bounded. Then only the cell was going to be die. Otherwise, this process may not be occur. So the T cell activation by the mediation of a T cell receptor and the MHC class 1 and MHC class 2 molecules only. In the mediators of these two molecules only, the MHC1 and the T cell receptor, the infected cell, it may contain the antigen fragments. So those are going to lead to cause the death of the cell was going to be enhanced by the effect of T cytotoxic cell always. So any other cell cycle damages or the stress levels are increased inside the body, the cell was naturally, that was called as programmed cell death. So apoptosis was also considered as a programmed cell death. Means that was a natural process that may occur inside each and every organism. So any damages or DNA damage or occur or any other reason, the cell was going to be damaged. So by that reason the cell was going to die. The process was going to be enhanced. Why? Because that may contains the antigen fragments already infected cell. So those antigens are going to die. So that process may be occurred by the mediators of MHC1 molecules and the T cell receptor only. That's why the cell was going to die by the effect of T cytotoxic cell. And see the another cell, it is a T helper cell. So T helper cell is also one of the type of T lymphocyte cell. So in this manner, in this way, so what happens is the main variation between this one, that was mainly about the microbe was entered into the normal cell. The microbe means a harmful substance that was either a bacteria or virus or any other harmful substance that was entered from the outer region of the cell to the inner side of the cell, that was entered. So and when that was entered into the cell, now the cell may contain the antigen fragments. This is also going to combine with the T cell receptor, and so T helper cell always combined with the MHC class 2 molecules. By the combination of MHC2 molecules and the T cell receptor, then what happens is T helper cell was going to be neutralized. It was going to be damaged. It was going to kill the antigens. After that, the process was continued. The process was included. That was about the antigens are going to die. Antigens are going to be neutralized by the effect of a T helper cell. So the same means the main aim of a T cell activation, that was T lymphocytes, was first function is to recognize the antigen, to destroy the antigen, but the process was differentiated mainly by the T cytotoxic cell and T helper cell. So both are separated here, T helper cell and also the T cytotoxic cells, or these T helper and T cytotoxic cells are variated By the variation was mainly affect and it was the differentiation is in the middle of MHC1 and MHC2 molecules, but the receptor was same. But in T cytotoxic cell, already infected cell was going to die. The cell death was enhanced by T cytotoxic cell. In this way, the antigens are going to be neutralized, and but here already the microbes was entered into the from outer side of the cell to the inner side of the cell. Then so those antigen fragments are remained inside the cell. Those are going to be neutralized with the effect of T helper cell. That is the main variation between the T cell and the T cell activation. So the T cell activation mainly depends upon and differentiated by the mainly that was the T cytotoxic and T helper cells are mediated for this reaction. So those are two differentiated cells are presented inside the T cell, and those are also mediated with the T cell receptor and the MHC1 and MHC2 class 2 molecules. MHC class 1 molecules are always presented inside the all the nucleated cells except inside the red blood cells. Why? Because in the red blood cells a nucleus is absent. That's why MHC are presented only inside the all nucleated cells, and the MH2 presented inside the macrophages, dendritic cells, and plasma cells, etc. So those are about the T cell activation was completed. So after completion of the T cell activation, the next topic was B cell activation. The B cells are the bone marrow. So these are mainly matured and differentiated from the bone marrow region. So those are also from the hematopoietic stem cell. So from that myeloid, progenitor, so it may myeloid progenitor may forms differentiated into the B cells. So these are also again differentiated into the plasma cells and dendritic cells. Cells also, and also the remaining neutrophils and eosinophils and basophils also. But these B lymphocytes are mainly, so those are going to be from the bone marrow series. So this was the structure of a bone marrow. It is the bone marrow. So these are developed from this. So after completion of a differentiation, for further maturation, these are entered into the spleen, transported into the spleen for further development. That was a maturation. So inside the thymus, T cells are going to be maturated and they are going to be differentiated, and so after that only they are going to be activated in the presence of MHC1 and molecules, MHC2 molecules and T cell receptor, and here the B cell activation, the B cell maturation and differentiation. So in these B cell activation, the B cells are going to be lymphocytes are differentiated and from the bone marrow region only. So they are mainly developed from the hemopoietic stem cells. Why? Because the hemopoietic stem cells are the precursor for the formation of all the blood cells, all the white blood cells, red blood cells and the platelets. All are developed mainly only from the bone marrow region only. So the bone marrow is a main precursor for the formation of blood cells, and a hemopoietic stem cell, from there the bone marrow, the T lymphocytes are going to be differentiated and they are formed, and they are not going to be matured at the time of they are transported from the bone marrow to the spleen region, and spleen is a bilobe structure mainly located at the abdominal cavity. So these spleen region was mainly also helpful for the further development. So for the further development and the maturation of blood cells, again the P lymphocytes were transported into the spleen for the further development of spleen, further development of B cells, and in B cell activation, so these are again two types. Those are T cell dependent and T cell independent. Mainly these are also at the time of B cell development. So these are associated with the T cell and T cell dependent and T cell independent. So these are we will discuss on further class. Today's topic was completed. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.